Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to explore a really potent image that often surfaces when we sleep. It's the image of an empty bed. It's something many of us have probably encountered in dreams, and it carries this certain weight, a kind of resonance.
Yes.
So we want to dive into the deeper feelings, the currents stirred up by this seemingly simple symbol.
It's a fascinating threshold, isn't it? The empty bed in a dream. It's rarely just about furniture.
Right. Not just an absence.
No. It whispers, it suggests what might have been there or perhaps what's longed for if you picture it.
Yeah.
Maybe a quiet room, moonlight on the sheets.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe the sheets are rumpled, maybe perfectly smooth. But there's this heavy presence despite the absence, a sense of familiarity even.
Like a silent witness.
Exactly, a witness to intimacy, to rest, vulnerability, and now it's like a vessel holding on to echoes.
That idea, echoes, really lands. When I conjure that image, that empty bed, there's a definite feeling. It's almost an ache, maybe, but not quite pain, not quite pleasure either. It feels old, ancient, almost.
Yes, ancient is a good word. An unnamed feeling sometimes.
And you find yourself asking, who was here? Who belonged in this space?
Did they leave? Or were they taken somehow?
Right, exactly. And that lingering sense of them, their imprint, it defines the emptiness, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And thinking about imprints, think about how our earliest experiences of, say, separation leave their own marks. You might sense almost like a child's presence near that dream bed, not clearly seen perhaps, but felt.
Like a younger self.
Possibly, or just the feeling associated with that age. It can point back to those first times we understood someone could leave, that first real loss.
Oh, okay.
And maybe there's something else there too, like a talisman. A worn teddy bear, maybe?
Oh, right. A comfort object.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Symbol of comfort and absence. And, those early ways of coping, they echo later. Well, we find adult talismans, don't we? A particular song, a scent, things that suddenly bring back that same deep, primal feeling of longing.
That makes sense. It raises the question, though, what is that longing really for? Is it always for a specific person who's gone?
Sometimes, but not always.
Or could it be, I don't know, more fundamental?
Yeah.
A yearning for connection itself, just touch, belonging.
Precisely. It can be much broader, more elusive.
I remember as a kid lying awake and hearing my parents' muffled voices from another room. Laughter sometimes, arguments other times.
Mapping out intimacy.
Yeah, and feeling this pull, this desire to understand that world, their world, the secrets of the night. It felt connected somehow to that same kind of longing.
Well, those early experiences, those childhood imaginings and aches, they don't just vanish.
No.
No, they sink down, they get buried. But they transform, and they can resurface in our dreams as recurring motifs.
Like wandering empty rooms.
That's a good one.
Or maybe glimpsing a figure just fleetingly at the end of a hallway.
Oh.
Yeah. Often with a sense of unease. Maybe even fear.
Right, and that fear, it might be complex. Is it fear of seeing too clearly what you want? Or fear of wanting too much, perhaps? Fear that the wanting itself is dangerous.
It feels like the bed itself absorbs all that history. Not just who was there, but the body's own story.
Yes, written in sensations.
You can almost feel the phantom heat, maybe, or a little tremor of something unfulfilled.
Unspoken promises, perhaps.
Yeah. Like this whole tapestry of longing is just woven right into the fabric of the dream bed.
And often there's a subtle sensuality to it all. It's not always overt, but it's there.
How do you mean?
Well, just the curve of the mattress, the way a blanket might drape, small details. They can function almost like unconscious invitations, coded messages about our need for closeness, for physical connection.
But it still feels like it goes beyond just the physical, that pull towards the empty space.
Yeah.
It seems to tap into something deeper.
Like what, do you think?
Like the need to be really seen, truly known, accepted by someone else, completely without judgment.
Ah, yes. To exist fully in another's gaze.
That feels so primal, so universal. Right?
Absolutely. Which brings up another interesting aspect. Who is it that might fulfill this yearning in the dream?
Because it's not always clear.
Exactly. The identities can be quite fluid. They blur and shift. One moment it feels like a lover.
Even if you can't see their face clearly.
Right. The feeling of them is strong. Then maybe it shifts and it feels like a parent, offering that sense of safety.
Or comfort, yeah.
And sometimes, perhaps strangest of all, It can even feel like a younger version of yourself reaching out
Wow, across time.
across time. The dream space allows for that ambiguity, that merging.
Yeah.
It highlights how complex and layered our needs really are.
There's often that feeling, too, isn't there, of something being just out of sight.
Just beyond your grasp.
Like you're on the verge of understanding something important, but it keeps receding. That interplay between revelation and concealment.
What do you think we're afraid of uncovering in those moments? Or maybe, what are we hoping for?
That's the question, isn't it? It could be either. Or both.
If we think about it symbolically, the act of actually lying down on that empty bed in the dream, maybe it's a kind of surrender.
Surrender to what, though? Not necessarily to another person.
Not necessarily. Perhaps it's a surrender to the hidden parts of yourself.
The parts that hold those hungers, those aches.
Yes. The vulnerabilities, the dreams themselves. These fragments, they aren't dangerous, not really. They're pieces of the whole you, parts of the puzzle.
But understanding them, piecing them together, that feels like delicate work.
It absolutely is. It takes patience.
And courage, I think. Vulnerability.
Definitely vulnerability. And the dream. Well, it's usually not just handing out answers on a plate, is it?
No, it feels more like it's posing questions.
Yeah.
Guiding you toward something. An insight, maybe?
Exactly. It's guiding you toward your insight. Now think about waking up from a dream like that. Often, it's not a sharp jolt, is it? Especially with this kind of imagery. It's more gradual.
Like a slow fade.
Yes, a softening, the intensity lessens, and the empty bed itself seems to transform again.
How so?
It shifts from being primarily about absence, maybe, to becoming a space of potential, quiet possibility.
And that sense of the child you mentioned earlier, does that fade too?
It might linger, but perhaps fainter, more like an echo, signifying that those earlier parts of you are still present, but maybe finding some rest. It speaks to continuity.
Okay. And the longing itself, that urgent feeling in the dream.
That often mellows too as you surface towards waking. It becomes something maybe more tender, like a melody that hangs in the air.
Less demanding.
Perhaps. You start to sense that the yearning isn't just about possessing something or someone, but maybe about connection in a broader sense. Reaching for something. Well, greater.
What about that figure? The one sometimes seen at the edge of the room.
The fleeting figure.
Their features might still be indistinct, but their gaze? Sometimes it feels very direct. Knowing.
Yes. And you might wonder who they are, but sometimes the insight is just in the act of seeing them. Acknowledging their presence. That is the answer, in a way.
It's like you're existing in two worlds for a moment there, between sleep and waking.
Exactly. That liminal space. It feels familiar, yet strange.
You know that moment where you hesitate almost at the door of awareness, pulled between the dream world and this one.
That hesitation highlights the whole thing. The known versus the uncertain resonance of the dream.
So the dream doesn't necessarily offer a neat conclusion.
Often no. More like it plants a question, something that stays with you, resonates through your waking hours.
But then, looking back at the image of the empty bed later, when you're fully awake, it can feel different again, can't it?
Absolutely. With fresh eyes. It's not just about loss anymore.
It feels more alive.
Yes, alive with potential. You might even see fleeting images in the folds of the blanket, like a bird taking flight or a wave or hands reaching out.
And there's often a sensory trace left behind. You might touch your own sheets and feel like the dream left.
Yeah.
Well, a mark.
A tangible imprint on your consciousness, exactly. And the silence that follows. It doesn't have to be empty. It can actually be quite liberating.
You know what I mean?
It offers a space to just be, to let the dream settle without feeling. You have to immediately nail down its meaning or analyze it to death.
Just let it breathe.
Let it breathe. So the dream room fades. You return fully to waking life. But it's still there, isn't it? A kind of shadow or a whisper.
Yeah, lingering presence.
Think of it as a gift, perhaps, from your own unconscious.
A gift? Like what?
Maybe a key, or a map, or just a fragment of yourself, something you'd lost touch with that's been returned to your awareness.
So even if the dream felt unsettling, the process itself can lead somewhere.
I think so. There can be a sense of moving forward with a new kind of stillness inside, trusting that the journey the dream started isn't really over, it continues.
Wow. That's a really rich way to think about it.
Well, that empty bed, It really is a potent symbol, you know. It reflects so much those deep longings, echoes of past separations, our ongoing search for connection, and ultimately for understanding ourselves better.
And exploring these dream landscapes, even the poignant ones, it really offers such personal, intuitive insights, doesn't it?
Right.
Into our own hidden inner lives.
It truly does. So maybe a thought to leave you with is this. Consider the empty spaces within your own inner world. What feelings come up? What memories do they stir? And perhaps, what might those spaces be inviting you to explore or maybe just acknowledge with a bit more gentleness?